This is about what we go through to make a new hood. The fit of a hood. Every one of these cars are, believe it or not, are totally different within 1/8 of an inch, sometimes 1/4 of an inch. We have two cars sitting here. 77 we're building this Stinger XL hood for, and a 79 car to fit them. We try to fit 2-3 different cars to make sure everything is within kind of a average. These are the original hinges off of this car. A lot of play, okay? So first thing we do is start off with, we check the fit with the original hinge. This is how the hood fitted, okay? We're nice right here on the corners. The hood is low here. You see the hood is low. The paint stick is flush to the hood surround. The hood is low. The hood is low over here, and the hood's fitting nice. These fit totally different every car. We take some of this out by loosening up the impact bar and bringing the front end up a little bit would take care of some of this. This right here is in the V-bar. You can't really change how that V-bar fits, not unless you got big kahunas and you put a 2x4 on here and hit it with a sledgehammer a couple times. You can pull that V-bar down a little bit doing that. We've done that more than once. But depending on the shape of the car, this car needs a paint job, I would be willing to do that. There's a bar, a rod that comes up that you can unloosen, pull that V-bar down a little bit. But to get a perfect fit, to buy a hood, I don't care who you buy the hood from, and bolt it on your car and expect it to fit it perfect, you're having a nightmare because it's not going to happen, okay? Every one of these cars are different, and so sometimes you have to massage the hood to fit. If you get a hood and it fits perfect, it's your lucky day, okay? And so you got to put a lot of thought into changing the hood. If you have a perfect paint job, a car that's been done, you want to change a hood, you might want to think twice about that. If you're redoing a car and you're stripping it down, you're going to body work it, that's the time to change your hood. Because if you have to body work the hood a little bit to the car or the car to the hood, that's the time to do it, okay? And so, factory hood, bolted to the car that it came with, is what we're starting with. This looks like a nice car that hasn't been hit. The paint looks like it's original paint, painted over once with lacquer. You can see little bubbles from the air system didn't have a dryer, so you know it's been repainted on. And so we're going to bolt our hood that we're making into a Stinger XL for the C3s, and we're going to show you how that hood fits. Keep in mind, we've replaced the hinges and put brand new hinges on this as well. We want to start with new hinges that aren't worn out. The hinge company that I like the best is a toss-up between, really on the C3, all three of them. The ones that make them is Corvette Central, Paragon, and Corvette America. They all seem to be in the market of manufacturing themselves, not unless they're trading back and forth. On the C3, all three of those seem to be fine. I'm always bitching about not using screws, and you all know that pretty good. But in this case, we're building this hood, we're mocking it up, and when we're done with this hood, and we've made our molds off of it, this hood will get thrown away. There's no way in hell we'd put something on a car that had screws to hold it together in the first place. But I just kind of wanted to get that out of the way. This is how we're going to mock this up. You put the screws, it gives you a place to re-guide. We're going to come back and cut this back, move the skin in, so when we body work this to make it fit nice, it's going to fit right. And then keep in mind, it'll get thrown away when we're done making our molds because of the screws. And even if we didn't use the screws, it's two pieced together to use. That's a problem folks have, is they'll piece something together and think they're good to go, and then when it goes out in the sun, it starts shrinking. You can see where you piece it. That's why we make molds and make new parts to make it right. So we've taken a skin and the nose that we had laying around from a mid-year project, and we're going to graft it together, as you would say, onto a later model C3. And so this is one of the hoods that we build right now that we're using, and you can see it fits the same way that the other hood fit. on this car, this particular car. And so we're kind of right here, low here, a little low here. We're gonna make this hood fit to where it's a little low all the way around. So all you gotta do is add a shim if need be, okay? It's easier to add a shim than it is to try taking away. So we're going to try to take a little bit of the fudge factor out of fitting a hood. If we can make it fit by adding shims, it's like a carpenter's. Carpenters got shims in their back pockets all the time, shimming. Shim the hinges, you can shim the latches. So we're going to try to come into a little better world with this fit of this hood. We're going to make it a little bit low, 1/16 of an inch. It's not a lot, but it would be gigantic in making something fit better and work better. So this is the beginning. We started with new hinges. We've got everything here, and we'll take you through the process as we're doing this. This is about a 100-hour project to build a hood and build a mold. We've kept track of what we build. Our design time is probably going to be a good 25, 30 hours in making our plug. And then the rest of that time, we're probably going to have about 50 hours in making that plug perfect to make a mold off of, and then about another 25 hours in making the inner and the outer mold. So there's about 100 hours invested here. And if you think about that, it's a lot of work for a hood, but hoods are cool, and this hood's going to be pretty cool, I think. It's higher, okay? It gives you more of that look of what you're needing, and as far as clearance for that big block that's in here or the intakes that you're running, you've got the clearance, and we have the nostalgia of that 67 Stinger, but ours is bigger. It's an XL version, and we all know bigger is better. Well, just for a note, this is the backside of our L88 hood. All of our hoods on the backside are finished off like the front, okay? So you have a workable backside already that you can come in and give a hell of a paint job to, so when you open up the hood, and it's mirroring what's on the outside. In this case, our L88 hood does that, our XL will do that. You want it to, the wow factor of when you open the hood. So that's the back side of one of our hoods. So this is the back edge. All the way around is even finished on our hoods. Class A finish. Just as a comparison of a factory hood. Factory hoods are press molded, so they are smooth on the backside. But the perfection of finishing it off. They're not finished off. You can see the difference in the gaps. We've just taken it that extra 10 miles down the road to make it nicer. C3 Stinger hood, XL. Our mold is done. We're just going through, taking care of some edges. We'll come in here and wet sand and rub this thing really good. Outer, the inner, our working flange to infuse it, carbon fiber. Keep watching. That'll be popping out here next week sometime. Thanks again for watching.